Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick. As always, you guys can call me Touch from Ninja. And today we have some more Final Fantasy VII Remake footage for you guys. Obviously by this headliner right here. This is not my personal gameplay, unlike in part 1. This was actually supplied to me, stock footage supplied directly by our friends over at Square Enix. They actually flew me out to an event last week. I got to record that demo for you guys that you guys saw in part 1, and then I played this section, but I just was not allowed to record it.
Up here! Look up! I said look up! Not that way, right! Careful up here. This could collapse at any moment. If you want up, you'll have to use those stairs.
Use the stairs! Get a little bit of a scenery right here. So yeah, that's why my part 1 was personally recorded in 4K. Which is why it looks so smexy. This one is just stock footage, so it wasn't recorded in 4K, so it doesn't look as good, but still presentable in my personal opinion. So, like I said, I did get to play this scene. So after chapter 1, they fast forwarded us a couple chapters. Actually, no, I got to play a couple chapters in between, so it wasn't really a fast forward. But this chapter, the main thing at this chapter is that following the storyline of the original game, we are going to our second Mako reactor. We're going to try to do the exact same thing and blow it up. But this time, we actually get to play as Tifa, so that's pretty cool. And her taijutsu hand-to-hand combat was definitely, took a bit to get used to. She, as you would expect, all the characters play a little bit differently. So it was a bit to get used to. We also finished this chapter with a boss battle as well. It's kind of similar to the boss battle that we found at the first Mako reactor, but it was a little bit more difficult. Just in terms of, I wanted to take this episode to really talk about what my general impressions of the game was when I played it, and my general impressions is that it's awesome. It's so good. It's everything that you could have dreamed of for a remake, and everything was executed so well. The gameplay, the combat, technical wise, the music, it's just so good. It's gonna be in a weird spot though for Game of the Year, because if you guys didn't know this already, this game is actually going to be broken up into 3 separate parts, sold separately. So although it has like all the qualities of Game of the Year, I don't know if you could actually, if the game's not completely out yet, if it can be awarded or nominated for Game of the Year. I don't know. I'm not a judge. I'm just trying to think of ahead. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of great games that are be coming out this year. But based on what I played, this game just, it was fantastic the entire way through, and I can't wait until April.
Kinda scary, huh?
It's all in the mind.
So as you can see, this area is somewhat as actually the exact same layout as the first Mako reactor, but there's a little bit of cool, kind of like a mini game-esque thing that's going on in this chapter. So as you progress through this area, you're actually going to be able to debuff the final boss, but you have to choose how you want to debuff him. You can either make sure that he doesn't attack as fast, or he has less supplies, or he doesn't shoot at you as often. It's kind of like a pseudo mini game in between as you're progressing. So that's probably the biggest difference between this boss and the first boss that you fought. When I personally played, I decided to remove all its AI cores, so it moves a little bit slower, but you had the options of removing the AI cores to make it move slower, having it have less artillery to shoot at you. It's all coming back to me now as I'm trying to remember. Or you can request that there's this like this safe area that's kind of hidden behind another mini game where there are these switches that you pull up and down. You have to kind of like do them at the same time with your entire party, and then gives you extra items, basically extra pickups and items. As you can see, Tifa has a whole slew of abilities that you can use. I think to make the game the most enjoyable is basically you should try to quick map as many of the abilities and memorize them with the L1 button as you can. going through this menu of slowing down time is useful, especially if things get a little bit hectic. But I find like it's not as satisfying to play when you're kind of constantly jumping into these menus all the time. So I think for just to make things more fluid and to make the games more enjoyable, you're trying to use your fast keys.
Over here. It looks like a few of its components are still in transit.
We'll see about that.
Could tamper a little with its loadout.
And give ourselves an edge?
There should be a console somewhere.
This the console you talking about?
So throughout this area, there are like these key cards scattered. You can't remove everything, so you kind of have to like pick and choose exactly what you want, how you want to debuff it. I think this one
Serves you all right.
that one looks like an AI core.
So far, so good.
Right. Let's move.
Another computer. If you look closely, as you can see,
Watching us?
Cloud has some more materia in his sword that wasn't present in the first episode. So in this chapter they unlock summons for us, and you can actually attach the summon materia to the elemental attributes of your weapons as well. So if you can see right now, Cloud's Buster Sword has Ifrit materia attached to it, so that gives it some fire element ability, which is really good against these soldiers. Obviously, if you're fighting some more mechanical based monsters, then you would want to attach a lightning materia to your weapon. So there's a lot of depth. They actually
Pushovers. Come on, y'all. Let's see what kind of mischief they were getting up to.
as you would expect from a Japanese RPG, that there's a lot of depth to the leveling system,
4
and
consoles. And never enough key cards.
like I said, you don't get
An
all the
AI
key cards.
programming core. Should we discard this or something else?
Beep boop beep.
Programming core flagged for disposal.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's all good. The stage is set. All that's left is to hijack Heidegger's show.
So the chapter before this, we actually met Eris in the streets, as you would in the video game and the previous original game. This is the Switch mini game that you kind of have to go at the same time.
Okay, guys. You know what we have to do.
Copy me?
No, Tifa leads.
Oh, fine. After you, girl.
Gotta get past level 1 first, right? 3, 2, 1.
Alpha level security disengaged.
And when you pass the minigame, you kind of get to go in this vault. And in the vault, you get to pick up all the items that you use to debuff the guy with.
Score. It's just like Cloud said.
They say a job well done is on reward. I say take everything that ain't nailed down.
And fast forward to the final boss of this area. So when I fought him, he moved really slow because, like I said, I removed all its AI core. And with this boss battle, it's really a divide and conquer approach. So you can't, as you can see by how this person played it, you can't
It's on you.
just wall up him with one guy. He's not a bullet sponge. You have to constantly be cycling between between all your characters. That's the most efficient way to do it. And in the third and final boss that I was able to fight, you were able to play as Eris. You're fighting like this sewer rat sort of deal. This guy's obviously a machine, so he's weak against thunder. We got to level 2 magic and black magic as well, so the Thundera, Fyra, Cura during this phase. Use your abilities to your best of your abilities after you staggered. That's basically like the rule of thumb is you need to find out what's the quickest way to stagger the boss and then when you stagger the boss, then that's when you unload all your special abilities. So yeah, so in the third and final boss, you get to fight like this sewer rat sort of deal. It was actually pretty tough. For the first time, ooh, we got summon here. This is my very first time that I got to watch this footage. I actually did not get to summon Leviathan though. I summoned Shiva during this boss battle. We had the options of Shiva, Ifrit, or Leviathan. So I obviously summoned Shiva. So yeah, so in the third and final boss battle against, it was tough, man. It was like the sewer rat, like not only were you attacking the boss himself, he would like leave these pools of poison on the ground, and then all of a sudden like you have like this arena clearing attack of like sewage that would like pump from the walls. It was actually like I game overed once. Just out of nowhere, the sewer just completely murked me. And don't stare directly at the death laser. Get out of the way. As you can see, things are getting a little bit crazy here. But we got to do some more abilities. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this game other than oh, you got just zapped right there, frozen. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing 3 hours of the game. I was really glad I was able to record the first part in 4K for you guys, so you can really see what the game looks like. Recorded at full resolution, and I'm honestly just hyped. I'm so excited that the game is finally coming out. I know it's been a long ride. The game got delayed a couple times, but it's gonna be here in a month, and I think based on what I played, it feels very polished the entire way through, and it's gonna be well worth the wait, in my personal opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm gonna leave you guys with the final boss of the game. You guys can watch it. Like some Eris gameplay. Once again, big thank you to Square Enix for flying me out to New York to play 3 hours of the game and let me personally record the first part, and then obviously they provided the stock footage for this part that you're about to witness. So yeah, you guys can look forward to my full Let's Play walkthrough of the game when it comes out next month, and as well I will be giving away some copies of the game as well, so subscribe and stay tuned for more information. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you guys next month, or earlier than that, depending on what I plan. Next month for this game, at least. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.
Let me handle this. Blast off! Yeah, watch yourself. I'll show you what I can do. One more shot. This is gonna.
I got this.
There. I'm coming. Can you take over for me? Gotcha. There.
Get ready.
This one's for you.
Don't overdo it.
All set. I'll show you what I can do. There.
Hang back.
Let me handle it. There. Go on. Come on. Yeah. Hot shot. Yeah. Bingo. Ha. Okay. It's on you. I'm coming. Get fired up.
My turn. Time to burn.
Get him! Here goes. Do this way. Cut! How's this? You'll see. That'll do. There. Sorry, I know it's sudden. Here it comes! Get him! Why don't you lead the way? Go on! Bingo!
Keep it together.
I got this. This one's for you.